videos, but I felt like changing it up a little bit because I don't want to make a bunch of different videos. I'd rather just talk about everything at once. I know there hasn't been a lot of Vic Mignogna coverage the past couple of days because there really hasn't been much to talk about. I would imagine in the next couple of days, as depositions come down and released, we can go over those, and I'm sure there'll be a new round of craziness on Twitter from it, as there always is. I do have a video on Sean Schemmel coming. Should be very good. I got some very interesting information I want to share. I'm just trying to make sure everything is legit. So anyway, Tifa. This news just keeps on coming. So I had no idea. I think it's a Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically a fighting game, battle arena style fighting game. And Team Ninja makes it, which I had no idea. I had no idea they were making that game. That's pretty cool, I think. I'm almost tempted to check it out. I think I might, actually, if it's on sale. I'm going to look and see after I make this video. Anyway, Tifa is coming to the game. As you can see, the chesticles have been restored to their former glory. And what I found even funnier, they said, and I quote, "I won't say what they are, but they will bounce." In a glorious Team Ninja fashion, it looks like they are going to bring her out. Now, what's interesting about this, though, to me, is what's going on here. Now, we all know the Final Fantasy remake version of her has been toned down and stuff like that. Personally, and I've tried to get this on, people were coming at me in the comments, and I really personally don't have a problem with her look, but, you know, some people do, so I'm covering it. I'm more concerned with this ethics department. I got confirmed in a DM. I was talking to somebody that lives in Japan, and they confirmed what I had said in the previous video, that I think that the ethics department is purely because of North America. And they said, you're 100% right. Most people in Japan play Switches because they work 16 hours a day. They go to work, they come home, eat, go to bed, basically is what he said. They work a lot. That's another video I'm going to make soon, talking about that and some other things that have come up recently. I don't want to spoil it, but they work a lot. They don't have a lot of time on their hands, so they don't really play console games. They play Switch. They can play Switch on the subway, you know, during their commute, stuff like that, which is why mobile gaming is so popular over in Japan, but it's not very popular over here. Not like it is in Japan, anyway. I mean, Switch sells over here. People like Switch. They play the heck out of it, right? But over in Japan, mobile gaming, Switch gaming, that's big over there. And it's one of the reasons why there's less censorship, I believe, on the Switch. Games are definitely less censored on the Switch compared to Sony's censorship. They talk about it right here in the article, and that's a whole nother wrench. But the whole ethics department thing really makes me curious, because this is going to get through the ethics department, but the Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't getting through the ethics department. How come there can be bouncing in this game, but not that game? The only thing that I can think of that would be a reason for that is because the fighting game is a little bit more niche compared to the Final Fantasy VII Remake game, which is more mainstream. More people, and there's going to be more eyes on it. However, don't be surprised when you see a Polygon and a Kotaku article talking about, and some rees, you know, reading and talking about Tifa and the chesticles and their former glory being restored here in this game. So anyway, let's move on to the next topic. So if you didn't know, Sailor Moon has had a long, complicated history here in North America as far as getting a dub. So they are finally getting around to releasing Sailor Moon Sailor Stars. That's never had a dub. I don't even think it's ever been officially released in North America. As far as I knew, it was just pirated all the time. That's changing. They've released an $80 box set to capitalize on your patience. I guess it's very nice as a book and stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to get it. Personally, I think the first 2 seasons of that show were pretty good, up until they went to the future. And after that, I just lost interest in it. Mostly because, well, one of the main reasons I even watched it was because it was on before Dragon Ball Z back on the Toonami days. But anyway, that's a whole another story. But basically, as you know, these two sailors are in a relationship. And in this book, they actually printed like little timelines of how people are related to each other. And as you can see right here in this one, you got Sailor Neptune and Sailor U here. It says friendship. Well, that should be romance or whatever. I'm not too sure if they were married or what. As far as I know, they were just partners. And it's a mess up. Now, you can think what you want about it. That's the way it was. That's the way it should be. But they did say they made a mistake. I don't know if they got called out for this. From what I've read, they got it really quick, and they will send you a replacement book where this, and this is what it looks like right here, they will change this to romance as it should be. I'm not a fan of censorship. That's the way the characters are. That's how it should be. I think this was just a bumble. I don't think they did this intentionally. You know they didn't do it intentionally. Look at what will happen if you do something like this intentionally in today's age. I mean, half of the platform's been hit hard for this stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. They should have never been censored in the first place. They actually censored this and called them cousins back in the day, if you know your history on anime censorship. I don't have a problem with this. I think it's fine. But, you know, I'm surprised that this didn't become a big deal. I think they just acted swiftly and changed, said, hey, we'll send you a free replacement book. Please don't send the hordes after us. Games Done Quick introduces a new mascot, by the way. Here's this little rascal right here. And guess what? Has some ways it prefers to be addressed. Prefers it and them, as you can see right here in this tweet. Wonderful news. Wonderful news, don't you think? Looking forward to your comments on this one. So we're talking about William Shatner again, and I don't stress to you enough that it's really fun to follow him on Twitter. Very fun, because he don't take no S at all. He will come at you, man. I've seen him retweet some of the smallest people, and in some ways that's kind of nice because if you interact with him, you know, pleasantly, you have a chance of like actually getting to interact with him, which is pretty cool. I don't see most celebrities do something like that. But anyway, they got into it over some kind of scuffle. She came in and started saying some stuff to him on this, saying, "You don't act like Captain Kirk at all," trying to belittle him and saying that he should go back and watch Star Trek #1, season 1. And he says to her, Isn't Brianna the one who claimed the government could hurl rocks from the moon and target people with them on Earth? Wait, it's true. She said this, and I quote, "Small space rocks can indeed do nuclear weapons scale damage if hitting Earth at orbital speeds. But launching one from the moon, even setting aside issues of aiming, would still require escaping the satellite's gravitational field, a task that requires power and thrust contained in a huge rocket."
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
If you don't know who Mrs. Wu is, or Miss Wu or whatever, she was a big figure in GG, if you know what I'm talking about, the gamer fence, GG gate. She was a big part of that, and she got slammed by Shatner. Because you got to admit, that whole moon comment, one of the dumbest things you probably have ever heard. From my comic book fans out there, they decided to change Thors Hammer up. Wanted to give it a little bit more of a updated description. And if you didn't know, for the longest time, Jane Foster was wielding the hammer. And as you can see here, it changed to "she be worthy." It says, "Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." And that's always been the description. Well, he got a new hammer. The new hammer, because it got destroyed, got hurled into the sun not too long ago. They decided to give him a new one, and now it is, "Whoever holds this hammer, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." Not a big deal, but let's be clear on what it is. It's pandering to a crowd that's not going to buy the comics anyway. Marvel has proven they don't seem to care. I guess they've got Disney money, so it doesn't matter. That's why their quality is in the gutter. Got some really interesting news on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. which actually is a really cool looking game. I'm really excited for this game, by the way. I was really kind of on the fence about it till I watched. It was a 18-minute demo of the game, and it actually looks like a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll need to be a fan to enjoy it for sure, but it looks fun. Even had the Japanese music. But this is an interesting take. So in the game, there's going to be stories that are canon. It was shared here from Akira Toriyama's statement about the game on his official Twitter, well, Bandai's official Twitter, and he had the following to say that Dragon Ball Kakarot is an action RPG full of the Dragon Ball universe. It includes backstories that haven't been told in the manga, and I'm sure fans will truly be able to take a deep dive into the world. Elaborating further, it seems that the story will be given a fresh take in the upcoming game too. It's a fresh new take on the franchise as you relive the moment where Goku discovers a Saiyan bloodline and his birth. So this is interesting. There's no real clues as they point out to what these new canon stories are, but any fleshing out of the universe I'll enjoy. It's nice to know that there's things in here that will be canon. Really makes you, if you're a hardcore fan, want to play the game even more. One of the last stories, Pokemon Company's profits have increased by 1,200% over the past 5 years. This really shouldn't be a huge surprise considering how successful Pokemon Go was. And they've had a couple of games here and there, but Pokemon Go, Detective Pikachu, the new games coming out this year for the Switch. Pokemon's on a serious high note right now. So it turns out even more to be it was a wise investment for Nintendo to make. That's just a lot of money. I don't really have too much to say about this other than that. It's just, wow. I mean, Pokemon Go was very successful for them. Very successful. And finally, I think I'm going to do a whole video on this because they make a really good point on this, but I'm going to kind of binge it here, is that The Office is going from Netflix back to NBC's own platform. It'll be on there ad-free until January 2021. That's a long time ago, it's a long time away, but here's the thing. They make a really good point here. 2012, streaming is pretty good. You see this Netflix thing here, that's it. Then you go to 2019, it's watch exclusive content here. You got Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO Go, Disney, Apple, YouTube. That's a lot. And you see them say, oh, hello, my old friend, picking up the pirating hat. It's actually a fair point. I don't want to pay for 13 different streaming services. One of the nice things about having one or two is you don't have to have a cable box anymore. You can cut the cord and you can watch all of your shows right there if you want to watch them. When you bring in all these different streaming services that you're going to have to pay for, it's really like, well, shouldn't I just get cable then? It's going to end up evening out, and you're going to have to pay as much as you would have had to pay before. And I could see that driving people back to the seven seas. I really could. Anyway, that's all I really have to say about that. I like doing these kind of videos, grabbing up a bunch of stuff. There was a lot of things that I could just brush on. It's not worth making a 10-minute video out of some of that stuff. But a video like this I do enjoy doing because I can grab a lot of the stuff that I wanted to talk about and just kind of make one big long news video, which is kind of nice. Anyway, I should have some really interesting videos coming soon, so watch out for those. And like and subscribe and share. Those really help the channel. Any channel that you really like, you should like, comment, and share the video right now because, well, you know what's going on right now. A lot of people are getting deranked, and we kind of count on you now to share us. So please do that if you enjoyed the video, and make sure you're still subscribed also. That's another big thing that's going on. Check the notification bell, and check out my link to my Twitch as well. That's in the description, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.